Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is a GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG, and this one is on the, I think it's on Cliff. Yes, it is on Cliff, and it's actually on the north spawn of Cliff, and it's being driven by Mr. Skillhun. Don't understand the meaning of his name, but shall we just call him Skill? Might as well. Let's see how he gets on. And he's going to back straight into a Panzer 4H. Nope, decided to go slightly to the west. Had me foxed for a second exactly which part of the map it was on. Looks like he's going to go up the cliff face here. There is a place where you can sit on top of a perch and look down at the enemy. In fact, there's several places on cliff where you can do that. Okay, he's extended his aim, but he's not happy. That's better. Right, there's an AMX 1375 that's come up on the rise in the centre plateau. Okay, shoots round out. I think that was an overshoot, but he actually did. It did appear that it just went right over the top of the 1375, exploded behind, didn't do any damage, but he's indicating his target, and he's going through his load cycle. There's quite a few tanks from the enemy side actually coming up. Looks like he's got two there now. This is a good opportunity for a Bombardier. He gets a hit into the AMX 1375 and an M4A3E2. If they keep staying there, he could get a Bombardier. In fact, it's been joined by a KV-1 as well. But the KV-1's just been taken out. So there's several enemy tanks sitting there in the same place. That one landed quite some way away from the 1375. It's difficult hitting tanks that are on a rise or a ridgeline, especially when you've got a flat trajectory shell, and the GW does tend to have a flat trajectory. In situations like this, it's a bit difficult to actually hit targets. Okay, he's aiming for the T-34, he's loaded, rounds out, and a wonderful whopping great hit, which shows the value of hitting the medium tanks. He got a 294 hit on that T-34 and a massive stun. It's made him back off completely. Medium tanks have got much lighter armour than heavy tanks, and so you can do a lot more damage to them, a lot more crew incapacitations. Wow, and that round went in, and he took out two tanks. Just as I predicted, he took out the T-34 and the AMX 1375 with one shot. Now, you got a Bombardier, two tanks, one shot, and it was actually blind when he went in. I suspect that the 1375 got a fire, which caused it to die, because it didn't appear immediately at the same time as the T-34. But that's definitely a Bombardier. And now there's a T-150 there. He's loaded, he's ready to go, rounds out. And it overshoots again and lands quite some distance behind. Again, the flat trajectory, if you don't get the angle just right, the shell will just go over the top of the target and land way behind it harmlessly. Okay, I think he's trying now to get a solution on that T-150. Rounds out. No, it hits the ground in front. To say, it's a very sharp angle. So instead he's decided to look at the hill. Look at the lighthouse hill, or rather the bottom part of the lighthouse. There's two Panzer 4Hs up there, one of which has got very little health indeed. In fact, a splash hit would be enough to wipe out that Panzer 4. And I think that's what he's intending to do. Yep, he's shooting around in blind in the hope that that Panzer 4H is nearby. But one of them's actually come close to the centre. There's the other one. Only 34 hit points on that. And there's an E25 going up the hill. Or trying to, at least. And failing. He's just come around the corner a bit. He's almost loaded. If that E25 does go up, he could hit it. He's going to go for the Panzer 4H. It lands behind. And he doesn't do any damage whatsoever. But if they keep pushing this area, he can do a lot of damage to them. Now the E25's come around to destroy the Panzer 4, and he succeeded. But he's pulling back. In fact, actually, he's going after the Crusader now, which is up on top of the hill. And skill's still going for this Panzer IV. They're now equal score. They've lost any advantage they had, and I don't think the Panzer IV was there. He was there! That's amazing. I was wrong. Yep, I accept I was wrong, but he's pulled down the hill because there was a possibility he might have been spotted if that E-25 was carrying on towards the cap. And he won't be able to fire at the E-25 from there because the hill is in the way, so he needs to back off quite a bit more, get over to the west side of that pass without knocking any trees over in the process, otherwise he will give away his position. Okay, a TOG has been found in the enemy cap area. Just trying to line up a shot. Okay, he's fired. And the round disappears, so he definitely hit the TOG. It's a pretty difficult target to miss, actually, a TOG. They are so huge. Okay, so Panzer IV-H up on top of the hill again. Now it's using that ridgeline to protect itself, but he's dropped down. He's dropped down into the dip, so he's actually back down on the ground level. There's a Steel Waffenträger just around the corner, so if he pops his head round, and there he is. He has been spotted, and the Waffenträger's put a shell into him. But unfortunately, the Waffenträger's been taken out. Now, can Skills get this Panzer IV-H? He fires a round in, but he didn't get it right. He overshot the Panzer IV-H. And he's now in risk of being discovered. He needs to be focusing much nearer rather than looking at the enemy cap area, because that Panzer IV-H is now near the cliff and could actually be coming towards the cap, which means obviously that he's going to be in peril. He's firing around into the enemy area where the TOG was last seen. Now they still do have an advantage because it's just the TOG and 2 Arty on the enemy team. And he has now platooned with the KV-85. Both have got 3 kills, so they're on for brothers in arms if both survive. Now he's trying to indicate to the KV-85 that he wants him to go to the enemy cap and find the TOG so he can then hit it. And I think it's probably wise to fire a few rounds into there. And that's exactly what he's done. My suspicion is that the enemy Arty is still there. It would also be helpful if the Type T-34 made a quick run down the West Passage. The FV-304 is doing it correctly. He's trying to look over the cap, but he's only got a limited view range, so it's not going to be very helpful if he can't see where the enemy is. He's trying to indicate them go spot. He's not being very complimentary to his teammates, but I can understand his frustration because he's an accurate shooter, but unfortunately he can't see his target. The view range of a GW Panther is only 275 meters, so he's not going to see very much before the enemy sees him. Right, the TOG-2 has been spotted. I think it was a proximity spot actually by the Type T-34 or a visual spot. No, I think it's a visual spot by the KV-85 actually. Okay, but he can't hit it because it's around the corner of the cliff. Now, if that TOG-2 was to actually come round the corner, I don't think he's going to though, because I think the KV-85 is attracting his attention. It's fired around, but it's hit the cliff face. Now, can we see what that TOG-2 is doing? It is coming towards the Type T-34. He's not loaded yet, so he needs to be loaded to do some help. Right, he's ready to fire. Shoots around him, and he gets a direct hit. 328 hit points, 3 critical hits. That's going to be a big help. And it's taken out by the Type T-34, which means that it's just the 2 Arty now left to kill. And the question is, where are they? They're probably in these bushes, more than likely. And the moment they spot the KV-85 and the FV-304, they will start firing. But they're more than likely got short range. Actually, the GW was over the other side. But he has been taken out. He was taken out by the KV-85. Now, where is the other one? It's fired around in. So we're looking for an FV-304. Normally short range. I would think he's probably in one of the bushes, but it'd be a good idea. Ah! He's actually very close! Oh my god! Very close. And he gets shotgunned by his skill. That was very lucky, because it was very surprising for him to be that close to skill. He wasn't in the bushes at all. That surprised me indeed. Well, at least Skills was able to react in time. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. And it's a second-class tanker for Mr. Skillhun in the GW Panther. He got a bruiser medal for scoring at least 5 critical hits, crew incapacitations or module damage. He also got an arsonist. Now, I think that was on the 1375, and we can look at that to see exactly how the 1375 was destroyed. No, it doesn't actually say on these results. It would only actually come up on the other one. But I suspect it was the 1375, because he appeared slightly after the T-34, which indicates that he didn't do a full amount of damage to wipe the 1375 out with that shot, but the fire did the rest and finished the job. He also got a fighter medal because he scored at least 4 kills. And he picked up the Brothers in Arms because he platooned with the KV-85. And, of course, he picked up that Bombardier for taking out the AMX 1375 and the T-34. He scored 1,876 hit points in total. He came joint top with the KV-85 with 4 kills. And he managed to score 781 experience points. The KV-85 came top with 1,155. Skillhun fired 18 shots in total. He got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, 4 splash, damage of 1876. He did 1596 at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the FV-304 was the bit that was close. He received 1 hit, 1 penetration. He and I'm trying to think who actually got that hit into him. I think it may have been the FV-304. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, the FV-304. He damaged 6 of the enemy. He destroyed 4 of them. He also caused stun damage of 19 and caused 7 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 30,942 credits. But after deductions for repairs and ammunition, he took away 8,488 credits. He received 1,172 experience points, but he got a personal reserves bonus of 585 as well, so he took away 1,758 experience points in total. So well done, Mr. Skillhun. Nice Brothers in Arms and Bombardier, and that was amusing, and especially that end bit. I didn't expect that at all. I wasn't anticipating the FV-304 would be that close. I suspect he probably went all the way around the mountain and came down to the cap, realized that it was empty, and then went looking for the enemy Arty, realizing it was no point in capping because obviously that would just draw everyone back to him. So quite a surprise for him to turn up there. If you enjoyed this replay, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully I will see you in the next replay.